And with that, I want to introduce our amazing DCCC chair, Susan DelBene from Washington. She's going to be the field general that leads us to flipping the House next year.
Thanks, Chair Aguilar and Vice Chair Liu. This morning in caucus, we presented research on how House Republicans will lose the majority next year because of their one big broken promise. It's been only 2 weeks since House Republicans narrowly passed their legislation, and the more people learn about it, the more unpopular it becomes. Across the country, Americans have come out strongly against this tax scam. They've held protests outside of Republicans' district offices against the cuts to Medicaid and nutrition programs. And in the very few in-person town halls that Republicans have held, we've seen incredibly large crowds turn out in opposition to their legislation. But despite the overwhelming local opposition to the big ugly bill from their constituents, vulnerable House Republicans are embracing it and resorting to lies when talking about it. Well, they can lie all they want, but there's no denying the objective harm that it will cause. Independent, nonpartisan analysts have said instead of lowering costs for everyday people, House Republicans' big ugly bill raises costs on them. It will kick 16 million Americans off of their health insurance. It cuts food assistance programs like free school lunch. It takes a chainsaw to these popular programs to pay for tax breaks for the wealthiest few. This big ugly bill affirms everything voters already think about Republicans, that they don't work for the American people. They work for the billionaire class. It's clear that public support for the Republican agenda is cratering. Recent public polling shows that a majority of voters in House Republican battleground districts oppose the bill. They also revealed that most Americans agree the GOP tax scam will help the wealthy and hurt working families. These public surveys line up with the internal research we've done in partnership with our Senate colleagues, and it's what we presented to the caucus this morning. We found that just 25% of voters think the GOP tax scam will help them and their families. The same internal research showed that Republicans' massive cuts to popular programs are toxic with voters. We see there is clear argument that is incredibly persuasive to voters. Instead of lowering costs, Republicans are raising costs, cutting health care and food assistance to pay for billionaire tax giveaways. This vote is the defining contrast of the midterms. Remember, every single vulnerable House Republican voted for this disastrous piece of legislation. And since it passed by one vote, each one cast the deciding vote. Any one of them could have stood up to stop it, but instead they sided with the ultra-wealthy while costs are out of control and everyday Americans are struggling. With this vote, vulnerable House Republicans have already sealed their political fate, and it's one that they will come to regret next year when House Democrats retake the majority. Thank you.